Well, hey, shucks howdy, y'all. It's Local Game Group. I'm Patrick, one of two local gamers on here, and this is Co as well.
Sup?
Not much, dude. I got 2 hours of doubles practice last night playing tennis, 90 minutes this morning, and I'm tired. And I'm here. I feel like you guys see me with wet hair often. You'll see my hair dry one day. But that's not what we're here for. Will, what are we here for?
We are here for Edge of Eternities. We're doing the commander tier list this time around, and this is going to be a short stream because there's only 22 legendaries in this entire set, including the stations. So we might talk about Spider-Man or something afterwards. We
Yeah.
didn't really talk about that.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind. Stay till the end, and we'll get some bonus conversation in on Spider-Man. We were literally just talking it before jumping on the stream here. Obviously, if you're a fan of Marvel Comics, or moreover, if you're just a fan of Spider-Man, that upcoming set is extremely exciting. I obviously grew up with the animated series and Batman, so all that shit gets me really excited. Sorry, this is not me teasing Batman. We don't have that inside scoop anymore. But holy crap, that would be awesome.
To be fair, we
Anyways,
are Batman, Superman, and a whole bunch of regular real life sports athletes away from being able to build the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny Commander deck.
that would be sick. I would
And we are
love
very
that.
close to that, by the way. We're like, I think halfway. We have half the roster in
Hmm.
Magic right now.
Do we have? We don't have the Incredible Hulk, right?
No. No.
Because
No.
I feel
Hold
like
on.
everyone wants
Didn't
to
we
know
get that?
like Hulk versus Superman is always like a big matchup. Um,
Because we got the X-Men,
we
but I
got
don't know if
X
we got
Men, but it
Hulk.
was like we got Captain America, we got Black Panther. Obviously, I have Spider Man. I
Yeah,
have
we got
Iron
Storm.
Man.
We got Wolverine.
We have a lot of Marvel, I guess, is what we're
No, we
saying.
didn't. We did not get the Hulk yet. Okay. Well,
Yeah, Hulk would be. I feel like he's sort of a major player there.
I
Hulk as a
do have
card
to.
would be absurd.
Yeah, we do have Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail's Black Knight. So
He'll fill in the gap. We got another bracket five colorless commander, Iron Spider. Yeah, we were talking about that one. Will's like, why
I
couldn't this be? Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if it's bracket 5,
It's
but it is
close.
really good. It is
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. They really did. They did take it down a peg. You know what? We'll talk about Spider Man at the end of this video. But they did take
Yeah.
it down a peg. Will was like, "This should be is it?" And like, it would be pretty sweet as is it. I agree. All right. So, like Will said, we're here for Edge of Eternities. It is a short list today. Only 22 cards, and again, to include stations. There aren't any legendary vehicles that you could put in the helm, but we'll be assessing all of these from the perspective of cEDH players. So, if we put something lower on the bracket list, fight us. But really, though, let's have that conversation. That's the whole point of doing these live. So we want to make sure we get your 2 cents in. And afterwards, I will save this bracket list and share it with you guys. We were also talking about a segment that I thought would be kind of fun where we just look at sets in advance of the mechanics being spoiled and try to guess at cards. If that sounds fun to you, there's a name for this. There's a name for this. What is this called?
Predicting?
Speculative
Yeah,
something or other.
speculative design or something like that.
I mean, honestly, like I just like talking card design, and I feel like we've always chat on the channel with you guys saying how they've definitely left some things on the table when they finished a set, and it's like, yeah, like mechanically, it would have been cool to see this, this, or this. This would have fit the theme, so on and so forth. It'd be kind of fun to see if anything we guess at comes from the set, and maybe, just maybe, Wizards will catch wind and use some of our ideas. But again, if they make these sets years in advance, probably not. At any rate, so we're over on Skyfall. We're going to be going through this in Wooperk order. Yes. Wow. There's just like not mono green. There's just no mono green legend here, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
They done did green dirty. To be fair, they did give green like 2 really good cards in this set, so green doesn't need mono green need another commander from this. We're fine.
Yeah.
They
No. No.
got
No.
the
That's fair. That's
they got
fair.
the like really heavy draw green thing. They got the really good green spaceship, and they got the that one creature that just says nope, your stuff can't be countered. Your opponents can't prevent damage.
They're
Interaction, what's
fine.
that?
They're fine. What? So one of these things isn't legendary. Okay, boo-hoo. Actually, can't the station isn't legendary. Yeah, the green
Yeah.
station you're referring to. At any rate, we're going to go through this again in Wooburg order. Feel free to stop us at the end of any of these colors. Tell us if you have any feelings on these cards. But Khalia,
Yeah.
should I start? You start?
Halia as the first commander, and before we start the review, I do want to bring up one card that somebody's going to bring up, and I do want to clarify a thing. The I think it's the Eternity Elevator.
Bridge or elevator? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the elevator. So the Eternity Elevator is not on this list because you can only use spacecraft or vehicles as your commander if they have a stat box. And the Eternity Elevator doesn't have stats. It just becomes a better mana rock. So for anybody who questions why it's not on the tier list, that's because you can't.
Also, I should state, I mean, if you followed us for any of the other tier lists, you'd know the bracket system at this point. This is the same bracket system that's in beta right now, where cEDH is considered 5 and meme tier is considered 1, where 2 would be like starter decks, 3 is starter deck modified, can compete with 4, 4 is high powered, and 5 is cEDH. Fair?
Yep, yep.
Okay. I'll start with Halia, I guess. Actually, I'll do the whites and we'll switch off. 2 generic and a white, 3/3 human soldier. When Halia or another creature or artifact you control enters, you gain life. Soul Sister effect ish. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card if you've gained 3 or more life this turn, and she is also a warp creature. This is a new mechanic. It's basically short term adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Draw on end step, your end step, 3 or more life. I think she's fair for what she is at 3 cost. Obviously, you can't really do anything broken here, and mono white's always in a little bit of a pinch, but at least it's working off of Halia and another creature and or an artifact entering. So there's plenty of ways to gain the life.
I
Infinite
do want
life,
to
probably.
point out one thing, and this is going to stick a lot of people. Warp can only be used from hand. So that warp effect is
Right.
completely irrelevant here.
Yeah, there's no like commander ninjutsu. There's no commander warp yet.
Yeah.
Wait for the Star Trek expansion. Beam me up. It's just a commander warp. This is fine. I mean, I feel like you could probably make something that can compete with like a starter deck. And it's weird to say like 2, and this is their phrasing. It's weird to say that 2 is like starter deck because there is variance even with the competence of a starter deck. But I would say this is like bracket 2 at best.
Yeah. It might be able to go up to bracket 3 only because you can pretty much guarantee that you'll draw a card every turn, and drawing a card every turn can be pretty good. But the fact that it's monocolor kind of lowers it a little bit. So yeah, I'd say 2. 2 is a fair description. Now, if it was on each end step,
I'd
that
love
would
it.
be a 3 or a 4 because you just do white flash Soul Sisters and then you just go boom, 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 draw 4 cards per rotation and have a great time.
Yeah, dude, if this was, I mean, what would they do if it was trip white and then it did at the beginning of each, at the beginning of each end step, draw a card if you've gained 3 or more life? That would feel reasonable because it's really putting you in a position where you have to commit a lot of your land base to playing white. And in mono white, that's not hard, but it's not like there's rituals or anything. You just have to push out a rock. Feasibly, you could do like Soul Ring into some 2 mana rock. I don't know. It's fine.
It's kind of funny that you say that because we do have a commander that is that. We have the Gaffer, which is just at the beginning of each end step. If you gain 3 or more life, draw a card, and he's 2 and a white for a 2/3.
Really,
so
really?
This is just the Gaffer, but you can only draw on your turn, and it doesn't have the life gain effect.
2 officially.
I do think the Gaffer is probably a quote-unquote better version of this commander, but the fact that you've built in Soul Sisters does mean that you're more consistent. You're more likely to draw that one card.
Right, it has the built-in life gain on it. That's so funny. I totally forgot about the Gaffer, and I don't know how we ranked it. We'll have to go back. Probably
the Gaffer. I don't think we were ranking Legendaries back then. I don't think we did a tier list back when Lord of the Rings was the thing.
And if we did, it would have been a different system.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
think
right?
by what we rated it, I think we would have probably had it at like a 3
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah, I think that's fair. Especially, I mean, it's not hard to gain life in white.
Yeah.
Serereama. How do you pronounce this? I'll let you try.
Uh, the Serema.
Hmm. Oh, wait, I'll do all white. Is that what we're doing? Sorry.
Yeah. I thought. Yeah. You said you're gonna do the white ones and then
So I realized it
rotate
was
from there.
I realized it was imbalanced with just the one blue. It doesn't matter. One generic,
I,
double white.
if you want, I can
Let's
counter
do
it.
every other. Let's do every other.
Okay. So one white for a legendary creature, or for sorry, a legendary artifact, spacecraft. When this enters, search your library for a legendary creature, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Station at 7, this becomes a 5/5 flyer that says other legendary creatures you control have indestructible. Uh, as a commander, this can do some fun things because you can have this in the command zone. You can get a Thalia the dog that just lets you flicker a permanent when it attacks,
Mhm.
and then you can flicker this every turn to assemble some kind of combo engine. This is a really good secret commander card because, like, for instance, if you want to run a Tashar deck, this is kind of a good option for a Tashar deck because you can use Tashar. This one can protect your Tashar, but you can also use this to trigger your Tashar. There's some shenanigans that you can do if you have this as the commander over Tashar. In addition to the fact that you have the whole legendary tutor engine, also you can potentially do some weird Abdel things. I don't know if there's like a legendary Abdel setup yet, but just having this as your commander does give you the ability to toolbox in white, which white hasn't really had outside of Oswald. So it's another toolbox commander. Honestly, probably bracket 4 because there's a lot of things that you can do with that.
Yeah, what's the legendary suite you're looking at? I realize there's a lot of construction outside my door today. So if it's allowed, I'm just going to mute myself between talking. It is limited to legendary creatures, which is kind of awkward. I'm trying to think of what's the legendary suite. I mean, you mentioned Abdel, obviously Tashar.
Uh,
Tashar would trigger on this.
Name like any mono white commander and you theoretically could have this as your commander over that. Like funnily enough, you can have this as your commander instead of Oswald, search up Oswald and then sacrifice this to find the one ring. I don't think you do that. I think it's safer to have Oswald as your commander. But if you wanted to do like Heliod, like just OG
Mm,
Heliod, boom, you can find Heliod, and then
no.
you can use Oswald to try to find like Walking Ballista, that not really Walking Ballista, but something along the lines of that. Find the other combo piece by some weird tutor shenanigans. So yeah, I think that Surima can do some good stuff because it's just harder to play around and you can pivot just by having different mono white win con packages.
Um, I'm more like 3, only because there's not. I'd see 4 for potential, but I feel like right now, if I were to build the deck, I don't know that it would excel in high powered.
I mean, even if you just got generally good legendary creatures with value abilities, like you can just get not like Lotho, but the new one from Final Fantasy. That's whenever an opponent draws a card, you get treasure. You can just kind of toolbox out good white legendaries that draw you cards, make you some mana, and then
Mm.
eventually do a setup with one of like 3 legendaries and then win. And then if you'd have like, there's probably some weird A plus B combo that you can set up with this so that if you have a Surima and a Flicker, you just find everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's sort of the end game, right? I mean, you're probably on Isochron Scepter just to slap a bounce effect on it, so you can do this repeatedly, right, without having to lose a card or rely too heavily on like having multiple flickers or any sort of recovery effects for flickers. Not that there's many in this color. Oh, I can put it in 4 if you want. I feel like I'm sort of leaning towards. Yeah, actually, here, how about this?
Since it's a value engine, in addition to the fact that it can set up combos, I think it's 4. That's probably the best way that I can put it.
I'll let you guys decide. I'm sort of tied here, but I'll put a poll going, and then we can get through the rest of our monocolored cards, and I'll look at the poll then. At any rate, mana mana.
Um, Yeah, phenomena, phenomena of durating. I'm also currently looking through all of the white legendary creatures to see
Fair.
if there's like some niche combo, and there's a lot of really good stacks things you can do here,
Oh,
and
I
there's
bet.
ways that you can double up your ETB trigger off of your commander. So like you could do really disgusting things with this, but I don't know what the combo is. Oh well. Phenomena.
Sorry, I'm muted. I agree. I agree on all notes.
So are you covering phenomenon or is that am I
No, no,
covering
you sir, you
phenomenon?
sir.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
wait, I'm
Uh,
wait. What the hell? We did switch it. Hey,
yeah.
I'm sorry. All right,
Patrick, you need to get on your game. We have to
officially.
cover a whole 22 commanders. This is more
I
than we've
know.
ever covered.
I know.
Ignore the last set. Ignore the last set.
Right. This is me trying to extend it. It feels weird when these streams don't last 2 hours, but this will go by pretty quick, I'm sure. All right. So don't worry about the left hand. The right hand is 3 generic double teardrops, 3/4 jellyfish advisor. I always get my best advice from jellyfish. Flying. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. That's right. You may cast artifact spells from the top of your library. Artifacts you control have tap, add blue. What the Urza? Spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. Well, guess what? You can do so from the top of your library. So, what is this? Is that Future Sight? Is that what the effect is called? So this is
Yeah, future. It's more like Mystic Forge, but it's
yeah,
future sight.
yeah. It's a nice combination of the two.
I
Obviously,
will
oh sorry.
I will say the biggest downside between this and Urza is Urza says tap an artifact you control to make a blue. This says artifacts you control have tap to make a blue, so your Thopter tokens can't tap for mana.
Yeah, yeah. Urza, the way Urza reads is just so damn good. I think they learned from their ways. This
Yeah.
is fine. I think that liquid metal torque is kind of cool here. At least make Manamana something else other than a jellyfish advisor, an artifact jellyfish advisor. I'm not.
From what I've seen people play this deck already just in theory crafting, and it works pretty well because your entire deck is
Sensei's top
like,
shenanigans or something.
yes, your win con is Sensei's top, but the way that you find Sensei's top is you run all of these artifacts that cost one or less, and then they let you mill yourself. And since you can see the top, you always know that you're milling one of your non artifacts or cards that, like, when an artifact enters, you loot so that you can filter through all of your non artifacts off the top and guarantee that you find Sensei's top and win the game. So this feels like a way more explosive, fast paced Urza because you just go boom, play everything game. But it's the lack of mana for cards in hand hurts, and the ability to only play artifacts off the top makes it a little bit more limiting. But it definitely can do the thing. It's just there's a lot of times I've seen this deck play. Oops, hit a land, I gotta stop. So it can do really explosive things, but it's still like super finicky and reckless for
Yeah,
5 commander, like a commander on 5. I think
yeah.
this could be B5, but it's probably B4 because it's inconsistent.
I was gonna say, I like how you said faster Urza. I mean, you just mean by play style, not necessarily like mana cost.
Yes, it's
But
not mana cost. It costs more than Urza, but when this enters, the game can just end instantly.
yeah, pending setup. Hmm.
Also, I was so surprised by the fact that this is a legendary creature and not a legendary artifact creature. I don't know why, but my mind just auto filtered it to being an artifact. And I'm
Likewise.
like, for the first time I saw somebody play this, I'm like, wait, no, you don't have to pay 5 for that. You have artifact reduction. Wait, never mind. I'm dumb.
He does look a little bit like an artifact dude. Just that chest plate. I would say 4 seems reasonable for this guy, Manamana.
Yeah, probably
Manamana.
going to be the highest 4 on the list.
Yeah, definitely up there. Slap that there. Yeah, no other notes. I'm just thinking like, oh, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about that other honorary legendary from this set. I kind of wish we put it in here. The
Which
one
one?
with the alt art that has the legendary bordering, but is
Oh
not a
yeah.
legendary. Have you guys seen this?
I'll find it really quick. That
I'll pull it up. I'll
that
pull it
gives
up.
me such a headache. It's in Simic. Okay, I have to scroll all the way down. There's that, and then uh, Genmorph Genmorph Imigo.
How do you spell that?
GenemorphImago.
I N.
I am AGO.
Oh, I
I
M.
am AGO. I am AGO.
Yeah.
Genomorph amigo.
That did not do it. Gen Imigo,
Yeah. IMAGO.
but GENMO
GENEMORPH.
Gene Morph. Okay, so here's the normal one, and here's Imigo in his legendary form.
Yeah, because apparently he gets the legendary crown frill. Okay, hold up. Yeah, legendary crown. They posted a thing on it. Apparently, Wizards mentioned this.
Seriously,
Uh, was printed with the legendary crown treatment, despite not being a legendary card. Yeah, they brought it up.
dude, that's so funny. Well, I think they were made aware of their mistake for sure. I like the idea of this being an honorary legendary, or they should definitely bring Gene the Imigo back and just have him be his own legendary. That's hilarious, dude. We could grade him
I would
later.
play this.
I
I
would
would
play this
play
too.
this as a commander.
Actually, let's grade him really quick. Sorry, bonus.
Yeah, we
Simic.
won't actually put him on the tier list, but we'll say where we'd have him.
Yeah, Gene Morph
Landfall
Imigo, man. Let's go.
get landfall make something a 3/3. If you have enough lands, make it a 6/6. It's not competitive, but that's gonna beat the crap out of a lot of people.
Mhm.
Like just turning 1/1 tokens into 6/6s could be massive, especially since you're doing it twice with fetch lands and you're probably playing additional lands. So if you're playing all the random creatures that just say you can play an additional land or tap to put a land into play, you will ramp very quickly, and then you will vomit out creatures and lands and then make them big and then just punch people to death. Also, does not say another target creature you control. It says just a target creature. So
Mhm.
this is going to be a 6/6 beater for 2. Scary. Love him. Bracket 3, but like high
Yeah, three
bracket
for
3 because you
sure.
can do powers matter stuff with this.
You wouldn't use like man lands in this deck or anything.
You
Probably just
could,
rely
but I don't
on
think you would.
bodies.
Like Field of the Dead is the most manly
Oh,
you would
yeah,
go
yeah,
with
yeah.
this.
Field of the Dead would be good. Field of the Dead would be good. They don't have to be different names, just 6 or more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do also want to say greater good in this is so
Hmm.
disgusting because you just go play a land, sack the thing to draw 6, discard 3, and play a land, sack the
Yeah.
thing. Just
Seriously.
keep going.
Oh shit. Actually, that's the strategy. That's the strategy for sure. Um, yeah, and you do like well, okay. I was like ram it up excavator. You're sacking lands for this? Nah, you wouldn't have to sack a land. You'd
I mean,
sack a
you can
creature.
sack fetch lands if you want to just
Yeah.
get, even if you can't search anything, you just pay the life, sack fetch
I would say
land, and
that's
then
like a
you just
high
keep it
three.
going.
Gene. Gene
It's
is a
it's a
high three.
pretty high 3 because it does power matter stuff and it just punches the absolute crap out of people.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I like God Eternal Aketra, but this does the same thing, but bigger stats and 2 mana. You play small creatures and then get big creatures to kill people.
Yeah, some swole dorks. Probably would use dorks in this too. At a certain point, you don't mind losing them, especially if you're
I,
doing land ramp
I'm not sure if you use dorks, but you use like weird, like small body
tech
utility
bodies.
creatures that may do stuff to ramp you faster.
I just want to make Gene just because he looks like he could be legendary.
Yeah, he's also
Anyways,
really good, but he's not. He's not legendary.
I think that's a cool casual, above casual commander. But
Yeah,
moving
like
on.
that's like low B4, but like more consistently B3.
Yeah.
All right. Alpharay Stone Chosen. 3 black black for a legendary creature, human cleric with 3 power and 3 toughness, and ward, discard a card at random. No one is going to want to target this guy. uh, Void, whenever this attacks, if a non land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn, defending player loses half their life rounded up.
Oh.
So this is a just a life chunker card. It is quite good. And if you want to look at the alternate art of this card, Patrick, we can point out the funny thing that the community has discovered, which is why this card needs to get like an altered print. Beyond the edge of devotion lies eternal ambition.
He has a stutter. Hey, it's fine. He's a. Wait.
It's hard to come up with something poetic on the spot. He just stuttered for a second, guys.
What is this? You're being ableist? Is that the term? Like, hey, the man can have a stutter. It's fine.
Yeah, the altered text is just going to be like the ... the.
The altered text is going to be beyond the edge of devotion. they just keep doing new alts where they just double down on the word that's being stuttered.
I would love that if they at just some point made a joke card that the flavor text has different misprintings on different versions of the card.
Yeah, love
Like
that.
that one Teferi that has I think it's like 52 alternate arts, and it's like the ripples around him are slightly different in the arts. Do that, but in the flavor text have like extra commas on some points, like accidental misprints and things like that. Just have the entire alternate art of the card be a different flavor text that's misspelled or misprinted or something.
Can I tell you, I forgot about that Teferi till right there. Like, what
Isn't that also the most played Teferi?
You're probably right. It's funny to me though that they would do that as like a form of alter, because like that's not exciting.
Yeah,
they've changed. They've definitely changed their ways. I think they found a formula that works. Thank God. Any rate. Stone Chosen also noteworthy. Stone Cold Steve Austin in universe.
True. I will say we have a 3-mana version of this commander that has partner with, and that sees literally no play, and it's in 2-color because of the partner with. The only difference is that one is Death Touch and has to connect, and this one is Ward, discard a random card and doesn't have to connect, but something has to leave the board. B1. I honestly don't think people are building this outside of my commander is the best.
He's the Stone Chosen. Yeah, I agree with that. I would love it if his normal version had a gaff as well. That truth, then the fantasy of eternal light. Yeah, be one with this guy. Be one with you. But what about Zu Ifrit? Yes.
There's no R there. It's Zu Ifit.
Oh, you're so right. Sorry, we just came off Final Fantasy, man.
I mean Ifrit. I believe the Ifrit, but it's Ifit.
Let's see. I'm looking for all the flavor text now. Okay. So
if it has to harm, if it has to harm, honest.
So Ifit, the Osteoharmonist, is 3 mana, 2/3 body, human wizard. You can tap it, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types, and has no abilities. Activate only at sorcery. Activate only as a sorcery. He's a human?
He's a human.
That's a human, huh?
He's just... I'm sorry, Patrick. Are you judging people's race based off their fashion choices?
I'm judging it by his arms.
It's the bone hands.
It's the weird skeletal arms. I thought he would also be a skeleton wizard, I guess. Sorry. They will call you a monster because you look like one. The ability is fine. The ability's fine. It's really good.
Yeah. They will call you a monster, but I call you worthy is also just like metal flavor text.
I guess they'll call you what? He's just no. That's not metal. He's abusing like this false sense of trust with these hideous creations.
They're dead. It's like they can call you whatever dog crap thing they want to call you, but I think you're awesome.
Yeah,
I feel like that's bro energy right there. That's no. Don't listen to them. They call you shit. You're not shit. You're awesome. Like, he's a bro.
Also, you're welcome. I brought you back to life. You serve me now. That's how I'm reading this. But this is kind of cool. It's obviously a commander that will want to hit some big bodies that have negative effects. Like I guess you could do like a Phyrexian Dreadnought or something like that.
Dreadnought and Death Shadow are the two 1 mana kill themselves big stat boys.
Yeah, it's funny though because it feels counterintuitive to what you typically want to bring back from the grave, right? Typically, we're trying to bring back things that are way more expensive, like your Razaketh or Villas or
Yeah.
Hoarding Broodlord, stuff like that, to cheat out their cost. Where this is like you're cheating the cost by a minuscule amount to get things that have just shite abilities that you want to put on board as beaters potentially. Those are maybe the best targets. Is that even true? Yeah, but it's like there's no sense in bringing back. I mean, you could like bring back Razaketh, and if there's a flicker in colorless, I don't know. This is a choice commander. Am I missing something here? Is there something crazy you can do that I'm just like?
So I kind of want to rate this B4, and there's a reason. There's a couple reasons why. Because this commander does weirdly good things. One, black
Ooh.
has slowly become the alternative power matters color. So like
Mhm.
green has been the power matters color for a while, but black has been getting more and more and
Oh
more effects
yeah,
that
like
say power
Technomancer and
matters.
shit. You're right. You're right.
So with
Yeah.
and like you have disciple of bolus and all that. So just recursively getting back a 13/13 every turn to sack and draw 13 cards or sack and make 13 treasures is really good
It's
and
really
is a
not
very good
bad.
value engine, in addition to the fact that black has a ton of effects that just say like target creature when it dies this turn it comes back, so you can revive your Razaketh, target Razaketh, sack Razaketh, and it comes back as actual Razaketh.
Right, like
So there's like a lot of ways to pseudo
enchantments
flicker
and
stuff.
yeah. No, that's a good form of flicker. You're absolutely right. There's that enchantment with like Kaya on it that does it. There's a handful of enchantments that just bring
There's a
them
lot of
back, and they're
instants
all
that do it as well as a pseudo protection.
yeah, they're all one cost. It's a weird pseudo storm line. I mean, you'll pull into your rituals too, and honestly, like the thing you do to sack it the first go round can just be sacrifice. Like it's not bad, or culling the weak stuff like that.
Yeah, and
I kind of
it
want to
does
build this
keep
now. This seems interesting.
it keeps like all of the CMC of the things as well. So if you
Yeah,
do just want to like reanimate Draco and then make it like a 4/4 16 mana thing and then do something based off of mana, that works. So yeah, the like Zuifit is surprisingly good, even though that his whole thing is like I bring back bears. It loses all effects, it's just stats. Uh it does work weirdly enough.
yeah. There's nothing relevant with skeleton I can think of.
There's like a couple random things, but nothing that's like very relevant. Like there's some utility there, but nothing explosive.
Okay, okay. You know
But
what?
yeah, so
I'm with you
I'd
on
say like
4. I'm with you on 4.
I like how I kind of changed your mind from like maybe B1 to B4 because it's like I saw him and I was like, yeah, no, he's B1 maybe B2, and then I thought about it and I'm like, oh, that there's a lot that you can actually
Yeah,
do
I'm
here.
trying to contemplate like, is there a really cool buried alive line you could do? Like, what setup? What setup can you just like crunch the opponent with? There's got to be something.
You can do something with like Smeagol as the sack outlet in your buried alive line, the one that you can pay a black and sack something on your board to return him from grave to hand.
Hmm.
So if you use this buried alive and one of the instant reanimates,
Is this
uh
considered a crime, by the way?
no, because you have to target an opponent's grave.
Okay.
He's not a criminal. He's an osteo harmonist.
Yeah, you keep trying to keep trying to call this guy like a bad dude. Yeah, no, I'm not. I
He's
promise.
just a bro, Patrick. What are you discriminating against people with bone hands?
Look, don't lie to me. If you saw this guy in like the subway, you'd go to the other car. You'd like, or at least sit at the opposite end of that cab. Bonehands McGee is freaking me out a little bit, but he's definitely B4.
It's Bonehands McGee with the outfit. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the head things. I'm like, nah, no, that's usually villain attire.
Yeah, he was actually born in Idaho. He's a really sweet guy. All right, Tanuk.
Yep, a Tanuk. I think this one's mine. And Tanuk, steadfast second. 2 red, red, legendary creature, Kavu Pilot. 3 power, 4 toughness. Other creatures you control have haste. Artifact cards and red creature cards in your hand have warp for 2 and a red. Uh, yeah, so I want to say we went from opposite sides of the spectrum, like really bad commander or bad looking commander that's surprisingly really good, and then really good looking commander that's kind of surprisingly bad. Um, I've looked at this, I've tried finding ways to make this work, and the best I can say is Blightsteel Colossus. You kill one guy very quickly,
Yeah.
and then that's kind of that.
Yeah. That's
Because
neat.
you can't cheat out Eldrazi's with this, so you can't do like Titans because it has to be a red creature or it has to be an artifact. So the best artifact that you have is Blightsteel Colossus, and the best red creatures you have are like dragons, but you usually want them to stay on board to
What
be a
is the
constant threat.
does Mycosynth Lattice make cards in my hands artifacts?
I think it makes them colorless.
Mycosynth Lattice colorless? Mycosynth Lattice, all permanents are artifacts in addition to their other types. All cards that aren't on the battlefield spells and permanents are colorless. Players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Okay. Okay. Well, that was my one thought. I mean, there's not a way you
I
can.
I will say just playing the Nehebs for 3 mana to get a lot of mana to play other big things is very good utility, so that's at least something. But yeah, B2. You can do some fun things, but it's like super limited when you actually look into it.
Yeah, he's steadfast in second. Bracket two.
I mean, to be fair, also another bro. We're a few bones short of a skeleton crew, but we got plenty of spine. Like the whole thing is like, yeah, no, they're doing a death mission there, and he's like, no, I'm sticking with you.
Dude,
He's a bro.
he's a real bro. This Tanuk guy.
Yeah.
Hope he makes it. I'm with you on that. Sarima. It's a dreamer. And it's gonna sit at B3. And we're moving on to, is this Alf for real? Are we Alf for real here? Is this the same guy?
It's the same guy as the mono black guy, yeah.
Okay. He's
I
dreaming.
think a lot of the legendaries have like a before and after version.
Is this all to aid story? So are we getting like,
Probably.
this is Dune 1 and Dune 2 here?
Well,
So
like
this
we
is
have
Dune 1.
Tanuk, and then we have second Tanuk and Gruul.
And then we have second Tanuk. But speaking of secondary creatures, we have Alfriel again. He's Demir this time at 3 mana, 2/3, human cleric relevant. When Alfriel enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. Okay, so play artifacts, I guess. During your turn, Alfriel has Death Touch. I am worthy of the Faller's blessing. I can prove it. Trust me. Watch me levitate this knife.
You can prove it in bracket 1.
You can prove it as soon as you discard that artifact and get the fuck out of my face. Are you levitating a knife in my face? Get out. I'm fine with this guy. I'm with you on bracket 1, right up there with the other one. This is okay. Like, I would say this one's better than the other one in that you get a little bit of card quality and you also just bin stuff. Sometimes you want to put stuff in your graveyard, so it's not the end of the world. Death Touch is not relevant unless you have abilities attached to him that matter.
The worst part is it's during your turn, it has Death Touch. You don't want to
Yeah.
just swing with a 2/3.
No.
So you want to keep him as a blocker, but then he becomes a worse blocker.
Awkward card. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty bad. I kind of wish that was when it attacks, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Like then the death touch would make sense. It's like, okay, well, you're telling me to go aggro and push this guy, but I guess that's not the Demir way. Yeah, not much else to say on this guy. Just okay. This is going to be a very low tier list, I think, for most of these cards.
Yeah. Well, we got Tanuk Memorial Ensign. 1 a red and a green for a legendary creature Kavu Pilot with 2 power, 4 toughness, and landfall. Deal 1 damage to each opponent. If this is the second time this ability resolves, draw a card.
Cool. So I mean, you could do this multiple times then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do it on your opponent's turns as well. So theoretically, you could draw 4 cards per rotation if you're holding up fetches, like holding up enough fetches, using Harrow, things like that. So you have the ability to draw a couple cards per rotation with this commander, in addition to the fact that green has curiosity effects. So
Hmm.
theoretically, this could just be a curiosity commander for you.
Yeah, with Keen
Um,
Eye.
Honestly, like
Not
he can
bad.
do some things. I don't think he can do crazy things, but I'd say like B3 because he does land things. He's a way to kill your opponents. He does the damage to your opponents. So all the things that we said about all the Final Fantasy commanders that do damage to your opponents, like he give him infect, he kills people.
I'm into him. Um, man, what infects in
It is just
just the artifact equipment?
just the equipment. Yeah.
Yeah. B high B3, maybe B4, high B3.
I'd say B3 just because you don't have consistent ways to find the curiosity
No.
effects. And outside of that, he's just a guy who's like flicking people in the forehead constantly and drawing you extra cards. Like he's a good card
Yeah,
draw commander.
he really
He's more
is.
like play a fetch, draw a card is really good text.
It's also
Um
just encouraging you to land ramp, which is like as soon as you do the Kodama's reach or whatever, if you played your land per turn, like you're getting get your land per turn that way anyways, but you're getting the draw. So it's always replacing itself. So you always have a pretty healthy hand with this guy. I actually really like him. I'd say bracket 3. You could do. I like the flicking forehead strategy.
yeah. Die.
Eventually you'll die. Kabu pilots, love them. It's interesting that pilots generally crew for 3, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to point that out.
He
Anyways,
crewed for 3 back in the day, but now that
yeah,
he's a grizzly old man, he only crews
yeah,
for 2.
yeah. It's tough. It's tougher on your bones.
He's retired. He lost the one power that he needed to be a pilot. Now he's got to retire.
Yeah, but he still kept the title, dude. What a poser. Sorry. Diadrine synthesis amalgam. Did I? You read the
You did good.
Kavu. X
Yeah.
in Selesnya construct O1 body. I swear to God, I saw this in a gift shop somewhere. Trample. Diadrine enters with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. Okay, go crazy, folks. Whenever you attack, you may remove a +1/+1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control if you do draw a card and create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Beep, burp, burp, beep, burp. Um, well, you're going to get +1/+1 counters on this. That's great. This is encouraging you to build +1 tribal, some form of +1 shenanigans, and that's not difficult. There's plenty of ways to put +1/+1 counters on things. Does this feel like hyper consistent draw? Not when you narrow it down to attacking. And these aren't really the colors for like multiple combats. So Celestia always is in a bind when it comes to closers. So I'm never like high on this color pairing in a competitive setting unless it's Sithis. Again, if I'm missing something, let me know. But I feel like this is fine. It's maybe bracket
I
2.
will say, I do like the fact that it does not care what X is at all. It just cares that you spent mana on it. So commander tax will give it more counters.
It's
So
true.
it subverts commander tax in a way that's useful. I think that you'll pretty consistently get the draw every turn if you built into this correctly. And the fact that it gives you extra bodies is nice, but honestly, it's more B2 than anything. Like it's a weird Hydra tribal commander if you want to do that, or like modular commander if you want to do that. Like there's things you can do, but it's not super hype. But it's draw per turn, gain a body every turn, have fun. Uh, I give it B2.
Yeah, I would play Tanuke first. The Gruul Tanuke.
I mean, yeah, but Gruul Tanuk is like B4 potential, but more
Yeah,
likely
yeah.
B3.
The forehead flicker.
Yes. Halia isn't didn't we? Yeah, we started on Halia. Now we get the bigger Halia.
Yes.
Um,
Cadet. Ascendant Cadet. Okay.
yeah. Uh, So I guess this is OG Halia, and then the Guided by Light is the older Halia.
Good question. Maybe.
Ascended Cadet. 2 green, white, white for a legendary creature, human soldier with 3 power, 3 toughness. Whenever she enters or attacks, put a counter on a creature you control. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage, with counters on them, deal combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Huh.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've seen basically that wall of text before, except it says when a creature you control with power different than its base power deals combat damage to an opponent, draw a card. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a cat from Ixalan who does the same thing, but only costs 3 instead of 5, and also makes it so your opponents can't cast spells on your turn. I will say, as a commander, this is better than the cat, only because this gives you the counters on things to guarantee that you're going to be drawing cards consistently. But, like, it's not something that you want to build into your commander, and the cat just does it way better. The cat is just so much better.
Cat is better. She ascended, but not that far.
Yeah, I'd say B1. Like, you'd probably just play the cat over playing this, because then you don't have to build into counters.
Yeah, or just like a much more interesting list with Elevir here. I feel like Elevir is a more interesting 4-cost Selesnya commander that sort of does like goes to Beat Street, draws cards in a similar fashion, but actually has a more interesting way to build. Plea is fine. Helia is fine. Sir Vondam Sunstar Exemplar. I don't think we've seen Sir Vondam yet, but we're about to get
the very next card. Guess what it is?
Yeah, 2 flavors.
We
2
get both
flavors
of them
here.
back to back.
Well, this is what a rare looks like from the set. So we have Orzhov, 2/2, Human Knight, Vigilance, and Menache. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a 1/1 counter on Sir Vondam and gain 1 life. That's okay. Yeah, I like that. When Sir Vondam dies or is put into exile while its power is 4 or greater, so 2 things need to have happened for that first trigger, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Okay, well, I don't know if this one was designed for us commander players in mind, but you can still play it. Obviously, a Vigilance Menace is pretty gnarly. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, that bit. Do you Swords to Plowshare your own thing, Will, or do you just...
Well, here's the funny thing. We have a couple different equipment that equip for 0 that can get this up to 4 power consistently. We have Anthem effects that will help get this up to 4 power consistently. So you can completely ignore that first part of the ability. It's just the last part. And considering the fact that you're in white, the flicker color, and black, the reanimate color, you can keep killing this and bringing it back, or flickering it and bringing it back consistently enough that no one is going to have permanence in play. Like, this is a surprisingly brutal commander, because people have tried it out and they're like, oh yeah, you just grab Chthonian Nightmare and just keep bouncing this and like an Ornithopter or some crap.
Yeah,
and then people are going to suffer. Like, no one's keeping permanence around. So this commander's actually pretty good, just because you will consistently get rid of people's stuff.
What are the 0 what are the 0 equip for like 2+ power?
Let me find the one. There's a couple that are 0 equip, give 1 power, and then there's the grafted thing. What is it? It's another grafted.
Yeah. Obviously they only
grafted war gear? Yeah, grafted war gear is the good one.
Well,
equips for 0 gives +3/+2.
It's kind of like we were talking about with the reanimator earlier. You can do some power matters stuff, like if you want to self-sack and like draw, you'll need some way to gain card advantage, right? So it's not on the body, but it's such a low cost. Couldn't you run this as like a Loris commander as well?
Yeah, you could. You very much could.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like why this is just a pretty decent commander, because with Luris, you're popping something every single turn more likely than not. In addition to the fact that, like, there's a million and one ways that you can consistently get this up to 4 power to blow something up. And you don't have to always destroy everything. You can just destroy the very key things like Ristic Study or like the Mana Rocks that people are playing. This is just a super disruptive commander. Uh, I like it. I think that it can be super mean. I don't know if it's B3 or B4 though, but it is efficient enough.
I want to say B3 for now.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's better than I thought. I definitely agree. I think the flicker is maybe the more practical route to go, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind like killing it to draw some cards if it had a
yeah,
higher
just
power.
getting Carrion Feeder and a whole bunch of unearth effects is pretty good.
Is there like a Felidar Guardian setup you can do?
For to go infinite with it, no.
No, probably
But
not. No, unless you had like an anthem going, something to give it a perpetually +2/+2, like the white tree. Is white tree +2/+1 or +1/+1?
+2/+1 to legendaries, I think, and then
Right,
+1/+1 to everything else.
right. So you can have like the white tree out. Hold up, put into exile. Sorry, I'm trying to. No, no, no. It's fine. I'm overworking. But the white tree, like any anthem effects, would be really good too. That way you don't even have to think about the equipment, the
Which is why I
equipping.
rated that one Anthem station higher when we did the
Mm.
set review because this commander is a thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. All right. Is that not enough Servandum for you?
Well, we got another one, Servandum. Uh, 2 white, black, black, legendary creature, human knight with 4 power, 4 toughness. See there, now we got 4 power. Uh, Death Touch and Lifelink, two completely different keywords, by the way.
Right.
Can we point that out? Vigilance and Menace to Death Touch Lifelink.
Guy does it all.
Uh, what is it? A new dawn burning away the darkness. Okay, there we go. It's a new dawn, guys.
Dawn, lifelink,
New dawn, new
darkness,
keywords, new me.
death. Yeah.
When this
It's
enters
fine.
or attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+ON Death Touch until the end of the turn. I would have loved this if this was in red because I love any random commander that gives Death Touch to pingers, and doing that in Rakdos is one of my favorite annoying
Yeah.
as crap things. Giving just general stuff Death Touch is okay though, but eh,
The rare was better.
yeah, the rare was better.
Go figure. Look at the volley of like laser beams flying at them. They're in such a narrow area. Like all the action is happening like on the 2/3 lower end of the image. The upper half is just smoke. Very interesting composition. Sorry. The art's I like the art on this is what I'm saying. I don't know if I necessarily think those laser beams should all be going at that height. Some of them are really high to hit people. Anyways, one, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
we're
won.
just play something else. Okay. But what about Manamanan Uthros Exile for a generic? And is it both these Menominons are pretty decent.
Yeah,
Jellyfish Advisor, 1/3 body, escape with the egg. Flying whenever an artifact you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Man, oh man, I love me some artifacts. You're gonna build up a really big phenomenon, or you're gonna do something crazy. Is there an artifact based persister or something like?
there is an artifact based persister. It's a lesser masticore,
That's
so
right.
you
That's right.
theoretically could just infinitely sack a
There you go.
lesser masticore as one option. The other option is also that you can use one of the like I think 4 different things that say pay something, remove a counter from this, and then make a Thopter token.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things that just say that. So you can just keep going, pay one, pay one, pay one, pay one, build an entire board, have KCI, Phyrexian Altar, or Ashnod's Altar, make infinite. Do the thing. Um, pretty good commander, has some combos, can do some brutal things. Can also just become a very big lad. You can also do all the funny Joyra stuff where you just pick up all your artifacts and then replay all your artifacts, like retrace and all those kind of things. Um, Funny commander does persist things, does other generally good things.
3,
I say like
4.
yeah, like a low 4, but a 4. Also, what crime did you commit that makes me your best option, Tezzeret?
What crime did you commit that makes me your best option?
So yeah, Menomenon did stupid stuff and then got kicked out of his planet, and then turned to Tezzeret, got teched up, and then became Urza.
I dig it. I dig both versions of this card. I actually think this is the end I would want to build because there are some clearly defined play lines here. But yeah, I would say like low end of 4 for sure.
Yeah.
Good job, Phenomena.
Uh, Next is Ragust, Deft Gastronaut. And let me just say, Lobster Citizen. Gotta love that. A red and white for legendary creature, Lobster Citizen with 2 power and 2 toughness. Artifacts you control are foods in addition to their other types, and have pay to sacrifice, tap this, sacrifice this, and gain 3 life. Then, you can pay 1, tap this, and sacrifice a food to deal 3 damage to each opponent. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, untap this. There is a couple different combos with this commander, but all of them revolve around just doing Nuka-Cola vending machine, and then something like KCI that sacrifices artifacts, or something like Amulet of Vigor that makes your treasures enter untapped, and then you just gain infinite mana, gain infinite treasures, and then you can hopefully do something from there. You can
Hopefully.
also gain infinite life, but infinite life is not a game ender.
Is there untapped shenanigan on Ragost, or are you just relying on something else?
You could do untapped shenanigans. Like, there's some things that do that, but I really do just think it's just infinite mana and infinite life. There's a combo there at the very least, but I do think this is B3 only because there's some weird food things that you can do that work together. Like, there's a commander that says tap any number of food you control, make that many 1/1 artifact creature tokens. So you just make more and more and more things. So there's utility behind this past just like what the card itself does. But I'd say like he's B3, he's not B4. Yes, he has a combo, but he's not B4.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Good lobster. Make me hungry. Sammy? Anyone interested?
Give you ship's engineer.
Yeah, cute picture. I like this. What planet is he orbiting? 2 generic in Boros. 2 for body. Whenever Sammy was down on their luck, down on there, they return to an old comfort, the clinks and clanks of tinkering. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token.
4
1.
mana for 2/4 that makes it tap 2/2 every turn. Bad.
1.
B1.
Okay, sorry.
Now, on the completely opposite side of the spectrum, maybe the B5 of this set, we have Sammy, Wildcat Captain. 4 red, white, legendary creature, human artificer rogue with double strike and vigilance, 4 power and 4 toughness. Spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. The hard way it is. Um, Yeah, this just basically says you do not need to pay generic mana for the entire rest of the game. There's a lot of ways that you can abuse the absolute crap out of that, either between artifacts that let you draw cards, things that say when artifacts enter your board, loot, or just like weird reiterate lines, because this does all the same things that Rowan Kenrith kind of does, more or less. So, yeah, scary potential commander. Double strike vigilance is also very good for this body because you just punch and keep up an amazing blocker. Um, there's gonna be combos. There's gonna be dumb play lines. At the very minimum, you can get infinite ETBs with that one statue that people play in Animar that just is like ETB bounce a permanent you control, and it's just a 4-cost colorless creature, and you just bounce itself infinitely. So that with the Soul Sister gives you infinite life. That with the Impact Tremors gives you infinite damage. You can do Sensei's Divining Top things with any future side effect because this is the cost reduction to do that. If you have a future side effect, you can also just play your whole library, more likely than not.
Yeah.
This commander can kind of do everything, and you're in red, so you have the ability to get there. And even if you don't want to do artifact loop stuff, you can just go like reiterate and then desperate ritual, and then you get infinite red mana, and then you can theoretically just play everything after that point.
Man, there's a lot of cool play lines here. It is
Yeah,
costly, mind you, but I mean, you're like a seething song away. You're very close to casting this. It shouldn't be difficult. It shan't be difficult. And as soon as you set Sammy up, I think you're in a good spot to hopefully take the game. You're likely casting like many a player artifact ramp, so you're just like part of the way there.
yeah.
What is that?
And this,
Inspiring topiary or something? What is the thing that makes it so your artifacts can also help you pay for the cost? I
I
can't.
think it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact name. I don't know if that's something you need. That might be like a bridge too far, but there are some good artifact synergies beyond them just having affinity. So, you'll probably leverage things that produce artifacts too while you're building up to get to Sammy.
And I'm not even sure if you need to do that theoretically,
Mm,
because if you're just playing artifact ramp, if you have 4 artifacts in play, that should reduce enough
most
that you don't have to
all
pay any costs.
right. What are the like you were saying, the reiterate line of play is good. It really just lessens all of your combos, any A plus B combos. You'll probably do a dual caster mage line in here too. Like that's easy. Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, do you think that this is an efficient enough deck to? You're not going to power this out as quickly as I think other decks can power out their commander and like aim for a win, and it doesn't have any like inherent card advantage or anything like that. So obviously, the spell reduction, casting cost reduction is huge though, because it just
Yeah, I
helps you. It helps you like hold counters and play out a game. Not counters necessarily, but and deflecting swat is free. But you do have things. Well, bolt bend would also just be 1 mana. In any case, you've got plenty of
Bolt
cheap
Bend would be
ways.
1 mana for 2 reasons.
Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking to myself like, Sammy's got a pretty good setup with like what you have, and you've got a lot of protection spells and silences. Um, is there a world where you build like a Staxy version of this?
I don't think stacks, but honestly, I think that you're gonna hate this, but I do think that this is the one commander that makes Wheel of Fortune viable. Because if you just run a deck that is every
Mm,
single wheel in the game in Sammy, you theoretically should just get there. Like Past in Flames. If you have Past in Flames and a couple Wheel of Fortune effects, you should just go draw, 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 draw game.
yeah, there's that. There's also, did we even mention Underworld Breach? Obviously, you could do stuff. Breach.
Not, but yeah, Breach.
Yeah, well, I mean, breach lines are so obvious. Like with, especially if you're running the artifact route, like everything would be free, basically. And
But
then
yeah,
you just need
we've
to.
given like 6 different ways that this commander works. B5. This is the one B5 of this set.
Yeah. It turns out when all your spells have affinity for artifacts, and artifacts are probably like the second highest played card in every deck, or at least the second most important type in every deck. It's pretty damn good. I would say that this is B5. I do. I am. It's questionable with the cost, but again, I need to see it in practice. We'll probably, if we build anything from this set, it should be Sammy, and I'm
Yeah.
sure people have, but I want to see it.
Sammy also kind of has the Golos benefit of like when playing this will give you the momentum to play it the next time after it gets removed. Because if
Mm.
Sammy dies, you're playing an artifact for free to ramp into Sammy again, more likely than not.
Hedron Archive. How hard are
Indeed.
you going? How hard are you going on your artifacts?
I mean, I'd be fine with running Hedron Archive because you just crack to draw. Like
Yeah.
that's
Ultimately,
honestly what you do.
that Hedron Archive and the other one, maybe the other one.
This
Hedron
is also a very good KCI commander because your KCI costs 0 and then it does things. So like you got options with this.
bracket 6. I'm just kidding.
Bracket 6, yeah.
Next.
All right, I think this one's yours. Yeah, this one's yours.
Yeah. Hearth Hall, the World Seed. We're in Jund this time, but at 4 mana. It's a spacecraft. It's 6/7 after you've stationed it. 8+. So at +2, you can pay 1, tap it, sacrifice a land, draw 2 cards. You may play an additional land this turn. Sounds Gucci. So 8 plus. Then we get into creature mode with flying, vigilance, and haste. Whenever you sack a land, each opponent loses 2 life. It doesn't matter if you use your ability on this and or shit anything else. Infinite sack a land will go. Jund.
There are some things with that bear commander. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm just gonna say Luna for the sake of it. The one that ETB returns all lands from your grave to the field. Then you use Zern Orb to sacrifice all lands you control. It becomes a 0/0. It dies, and then you have one land that you can sacrifice to recur something from your grave to hand. By doing that, you could just loop the bear over and over and over again, sack infinite stuff, and kill people. So there is a combo to loop your lands infinitely, but honestly, I don't think you need to loop your lands with this commander.
Just good value.
Um,
Really good
yeah,
value in Jund.
if if you have a Rapnop Excavator or a Crucible of Worlds effect, you can just keep replaying the land that you sacked, and if you have an untap effect, you can just keep doing that a couple times. And then when you get it to the final phase, you're just slapping people for a good chunk of good chunk of life every single turn. Because if you have Rapnop Excavator and Azusa in play, you're just gonna go play crack, play crack, play crack. There you go. Everybody take 6. Okay, now I have like 8 lands in play because I've been fetching and ramping this entire game. I can sack all those lands at any point with not Cernorb. Let's say what's the
Something for
protection
value.
thing? What's the
Oh, you're
Shroud
talking
guy?
about the Sylvan Safekeeper.
Yes, you can sack all your lands with Sylvan Safekeeper and then just go, okay, sack 8 lands, deal 16 damage to each opponent. Usually we're at a late enough stage in the game where that's just lethal in game.
Well, yeah. Frankly, with
You
all of the ramps, you can sorry not to cut you off, but yeah, because you can amass so much land with this deck, especially off of just the +2 and any like Will mentioned Azusa, you can just go critical mass of lands and be like, okay, sack. Yeah, you're right. And then at that point, after you've been pummeling them with a giant spacecraft, that should be lethal. So it's kind of like a control mid range. Am I wrong?
yeah, like it should be able to get a good amount of value. Because the other thing is, like, theoretically, if you can copy that first ability, you only need to sack the one land, but then you can draw more cards and play additional lands. So if you have like illusionist bracers when it becomes a creature, you can ramp off of this instead of just going like neutral and draw cards. And also, you have the 4 mana thing that sack any number of lands you control. Scape Shift. You have Scape Shift to sack all of your lands
Yeah,
and then
escape
get
shift
new
is
lands.
sick.
So you
Yeah.
theoretically at some point can just go, boom, you're all dead.
There's
The
some
last effect
high.
is just a good finisher.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only way I see it too. I feel like you'd use your ramming up excavator. I'm gonna say crew, but station it for the final time and just implode all your lands. Hell, I mean, if you have the excavator, is it weird to want to use like some mass land destruction in red? Is it weird to just like want to just destroy all and then like rebuild?
I mean, you also can
Profit?
just you can just strip mine people to
Yeah,
hell.
legit. Like I strip mine. I strip mine. I do the effect. It's still really good. Sacrifice land, draw 2 cards, and play additional land this turn.
Yeah, just
Um,
having Wrapping Up Excavator and play and going like land, strip mine, everybody take 2, pay 1, tap this, sacrifice another land, everybody take 2. I can play an additional land, replay strip mine, sack strip mine, everybody take another 2. I've drawn 2 cards and I've dealt 6 damage.
it's
Good.
not bad. I feel like they would have to get rid of this thing eventually because it's just 2. It doesn't seem like a lot. Also, if you really are into it, you could do things that red has a lot of ways of modifying damage. So, like, the next time you would do 2, do an additional 2 or whatever that is. Like, you can change the math so that it happens sooner. I don't know that you
Yeah.
need to, but and it's in Valakut's colors, so scape shift is extra dangerous.
True.
I'm sorry, I wanted to look up Scape Shift. Yeah. What are the other mass bring lands back things? Is it just Scape Shift? I thought there was another
So
one.
Scape Shift doesn't bring them back, but you
Oh,
have
that's the sacrifice one. Yeah, yeah.
not is it Turn the Earth? I can't remember. There's I think 4 of them
There
that
are, yeah,
exist.
there are land specific combos that will bring them back. I think one's attached to a creature, like you mentioned, that will bring them back into play tapped.
But yeah, you don't care about them entering play tapped
No.
because the end game of this deck is just you're ramping, doing general land things, and then eventually you go, I sack my whole board, I bring back my whole board, I sack my whole board, game. Because like, what do you need? You need 10 lands, and no one had to have taken damage that entire game for that to be the requirement for lethal. Like, let's say everybody's taken 12 because you've been sacking lands throughout the game. Actually, no, let's say that you just crewed on that final step and no one's taking damage. So we will say everybody's still at 40. If you have 10 lands, you sack all your lands, then you bring them all back and sack them all again, and that's 40 damage. So that's a good way to kill this commander. I think that's too slow for competitive, but that is a really consistent and really powerful way to win the game. So I would say that this is probably B4.
I put it in B4 as well.
It's Lord Windgrace, but on a spaceship.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to fool with this. I feel like this makes a very cool lands matter deck. Land ramp out. Even like your horizon lands, there's just stuff that like self-sacking lands that just profit here. Zurin Orb goes crazy in this deck. You could
Yeah.
definitely utilize Zurin Orb, zero cost artifact. We brought it up a few times, but it's like old school tech. You sack lands to gain 2 life, if I'm not mistaken. All right, your card.
I think this one's mine. Cezarel Genesis Shepherd.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
2 black, a red, and a green for a legendary creature, insect druid with 2 power, 5 toughness, flying, and you may play lands from your graveyard. Speaking of Ramanov Excavator, whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put +1/+1/+1 counters equal to this card's power onto one other target creature. If you make this a little bit bigger, this can do crazy stuff pretty quickly because if you're in the like sack recur colors, so theoretically, if you have like one of the grave crawler lines, you could go infinite with this or infinite counters with this onto something. Even outside of doing infinite counter things, there's a lot of power matters things in these colors. Incidentally, fetch lands are just going to make you buff stuff. Even if it's just 2+1/+1 counters, that's relatively good. Being able to play lands from your graveyard means that you're always hitting your land drops. A weirdly consistent commander. I there's like a couple extra hoops to jump through, so I would say it's probably more like B3, but it's still a good commander.
What about if you have Chandra's Ignition?
I mean, true. Chandra's Ignition is a good way to just punch everybody hard enough and end. Like I this commander is a little weird to me, only because like you want to buff it so it can buff other things.
But it doesn't buff itself.
Yes.
He's a very thoughtful shepherd.
Yes.
He's fine. I
A
think
very
B.
generous Genesis.
I I agree that B3 is accurate for this guy. I think there's a little too much legwork between like you buffing a random non-token permanent. Non-token permanent gets +1/+1, so you can buff your station, your spacecraft. Honestly, the
No, it's when you sack a non-token permanent, give a creature.
oh, never mind. I lost interest. I can't buff my spacecraft. Well, if unless it's a creature, which he is not crewing easily. Now, I wish I didn't trade my squandered resources for store credit when I was playing Final Fantasy cards. You're good. Stick with the Final Fantasy stuff. There's a lot of cool. Oh, you traded it to buy Final Fantasy cards? That's fair. Sorry, man. I'm trying to think if I have anything of value for trade in anymore. I've traded in so much stuff. That's not true. I have my Oswald deck actually. It's just littered. I'm sorry, we're moving on from the Shepherd. I think B3 is accurate though.
Yeah,
Um, Inspired flagship. I like how I'm getting all the spacecraft.
yeah.
Flagship vessel. We're in Jeskai for 5/5 spacecraft. Station cost are +1 and +8. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put your choice of +1/+1 counter or 2 charge counters on up to one other target. Interesting. Flying, other artifacts you control have hexproof and indestructible. So, is there a. We were talking about the charge counters the other day in regards to that scepter that lets you take extra
Ma-
turns.
this is a Magistrate Scepter commander. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tap a 1/1 and then you put 2 charge counters on Magistrate Scepter every turn. Either gaining extra combats or having a way to untap Magistrate Scepter or having any other extra turn effect should let you be able to start chaining extra turns with Magistrate Scepter. So basically, Manifold Key gives you infinite extra turns. Aggravated Assault gives you uh, aggravated assault's the enchantment, I
You
think.
get an additional. Yeah, you get an additional combat phase with that. You get to do the thing.
Yes, so because if you get an additional combat, that gives 2 extra turns off Magistrate Scepter, because you go 4 counters, and then on the next turn you get 2 more counters, which means that you can take an extra turn, and then you're up to 2 more counters again, and then you can't take an extra turn because you need 3 for it. But yeah, this incidentally just chains together extra turns with Magistrate Scepter very easily. And then if you have one of a million different other cards, it's just infinite with Magistrate Scepter. Because if you have Manifold Key, you use Manifold Key to untap the Scepter, tap it, put a charge counter on it. Or sorry, you tap the Scepter, put a charge counter on it, untap it with Manifold Key, then tap it with 3 charge counters to take an extra turn. This incidentally just goes infinite with Magistrate Scepter and a ham sandwich. It's
Five generic, but
yeah,
so it's a thick ham sandwich. But
yes. But to be fair, if it takes you a while to assemble the ham sandwich, then your ham sandwich has hexproof and indestructible. So,
yes, but also it's a worthy ham sandwich.
indeed.
I think the longer you work for that ham sandwich, the better it will taste. That guy in the background looks like he needs a ham sandwich. There's a crazy looking doggo in the background too. Also, these are Mercadian Mask originally, so you can get that old border foil if you just want to play a deck that
Brown your
utilizes
artifacts. I
brown
miss our brown artifacts.
#brown your artifacts. Um, me personally, I would buy up all the foil ones. There's more shit coming out that Magistrate Scepter cares about. It's so interesting that this old tech card is actually
It
getting a little bit of love.
it went from like a 10-cent card to a $5 card overnight.
I know, dude. You know those Merc Mass foils are up there. The man
It's
had
so
eight
funny
of
because
them.
this is legitimately a combo that you might want to run in Oswald if the One Ring ever gets banned.
Mhm. Dude, that's so funny, Wolfsbane. I've had so many moments where I feel like I should have bought more of a thing. Like I bought sets of a lot of cards like Mana Vault, and I wound up selling a lot of my duplicates. But I remember buying multiple Wheel of Fortunes when they were like $20, $30, and the last one I sold, I think I sold for 150. I think it was undervalued for like the revised edition, but they're certainly up there now. And these are things I wish I held on to 100%. I don't have a single copy of Wheel of Fortune anymore, and it is $300. So that's cool. But no, I'm down for this because it uses sick tech. It doesn't need Wheel of Fortune, and I think it's pretty damn good. Also, most importantly, we didn't mention it. You probably this is a spacecraft that just wants to get a little bit of a wax. It just needs a little bit of love. It doesn't need to be a creature. You can win the game with it without it being a creature. Obviously, if you do crew, this could be part of the way to get you to winning the game, because you just have a flying 5/5 that can just attack every single turn,
And
right?
also just protects your entire combo, so they have
Yeah,
to get
no,
through this before getting to anything else.
yeah. But you don't. There would be a world where you don't actively need to do that, but that really depends on the deck composition. I'm sorry. This is a really good card to bring it back
Yes,
to Vessel. I would say it's low to mid range of B4. Like you could play this
it is
high
a
powered up
very
100%.
It is a very consistent and very fast-paced combo. Even if you wanted to make a joke deck out of this with Magistrate Scepter, like you can just run every proliferate card in the game because proliferate also just gets you there. So like you have so many options with this to just combo off.
Mono mud is cool, man. Brown
Yeah.
artifacts, dude. I swear to God, like the brown artifacts are, they look so damn good foiled. Like I'm so happy that they started bringing back brown artifacts. I wish it was just a consistent thing. The the silver look is just not as clean. Um, damn, I really like this vessel. I kind of wanna build this. Okay.
Yeah, it's the fact that it can go infinite with a million different things is what makes the combo so good because it's find match straight scepter, find one of 50 different cards that you run in your deck, win the game.
Yeah, and it's funny because like the mage that gets you the scepter will also just crew the ship that will ultimately consistently crew the ship to get you to where you need to be to get to A+.
Yeah.
Um
I also do want to point out because we completely skimmed over this. If you have overflowing chalice, astral cornucopia, anything that just
oh
uses
my
charge counters, this gets
god.
you mana.
Actually, oh shit, dude. Yeah, you just do like chalice for 0.
And then you just put 2 charge counters on it, and then you
Solar.
immediately make 2 mana. It makes
Hey,
you it
mana
makes you a
crypt.
mana crypt.
You have
Yeah,
mana. We have mana crypt again.
he's back.
It's not
He's
banned.
back.
It's not banned anymore.
He's not dead.
It's so
He's not dead.
fun. We need to I just need to look over the list of things that need charge counters because I totally forgot. You're absolutely right. Everflowing chalice is charge counters. That's
Yeah,
so funny, dude.
empowered
Oh my
auto
god.
generator. You have all the charge counter group hug things that are everybody draws cards or like everybody like mills cards or yada yada.
Yeah.
You have the Lux Cannon, which is remove 3 counters from it, destroy a permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a good deal of options with this.
Yeah, and if you want to be mean, there's a few cards in the recent Phyrexian sets that just dish out poison counters with charge, with like exchange charge for poison or +1/+1 for poison. I dig this a lot. Wow. I was underwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like you've got the tutors. You've got the tutors for the artifacts you need in blue. You have some ramp from red, not that it's probably necessary. You're really just there for the gamble. I don't think you're an Underworld Breach deck. White has a lot of protection spells that you'd incorporate, likely just the silences, and maybe the bodies with silence, and then blue is going to be the lion's share of all your interaction. It's good. I feel like we could make this one
You
pretty
also have
easily.
Insight Engine, the new One Ring in blue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're worried about card quality. Don't worry, you'll draw.
Yeah,
Shit,
and
that's a
oh,
good card.
and long range sensor, the thing that's remove 2 charge counters from it, pay 1, discover 4.
Yeah. Gaming. The Magistrate Scepter has been going up in value. There's just more and more things that utilize it. I don't know that it's like the best combo card, but seeing as we don't have access to Time Vault, it'll be the thing we use for extra turns. That's fair. Sorry, we're moving on. That was, I really do love that card. I think that card is sick as hell. That might be my favorite commander from this set so far.
Yeah, and I think the face commander of that deck is Kilo Apogee Mind, which is one of the proliferate cards that you can use to combo off with your Magistrate Scepter if you want. Same cost, and it's a legendary creature artifact robot artificer with 3 power, 3 toughness, and haste. Whenever it becomes tapped, proliferate.
Do you run this
That's
in?
it.
Is this in the 99 of Vessel?
Yes, this is in the 99 of Vessel because if you use this and you attack with it, one, this crews your vessel. So you don't even need to attack. You just use this to crew vessel every single turn because it becomes tapped.
Proliferate.
You put the
Yeah.
third counter onto Magistrate Scepter, which then does the thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's so sick. Oh,
I'm hoping they
that's.
didn't put Magistrate Scepter into the 99. Well,
If
they
it's
didn't,
just
but
in the
like if they
it's just in
did,
the
they would have
starter.
just had a combo.
Could you imagine? They're like, "Hey, do you want to teach new players about dumb shit?" And then they just put
New players
Magistrate
about
Scepter.
Time Vault.
Yeah, dude. It's like, okay, guys, it's not as good, but once you play these face cards, the shit's gonna fucking sing. He makes Springleaf Drum better again, dude. I love Springleaf Drum. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, anytime a creature says becomes tapped, like, hey, it's nice that it doesn't need anything else, but This is really, because of the haste. This is really good for Springleaf Drum. It's really good for Station. So I'm with
Yeah,
Will on all of this. Um,
this is also just freed from the real target. Like if this is your commander, you use freed from the real effects, and you just keep going like tap it for something, untap, tap, untap, tap, untap, tap, untap, proliferate 20 in one turn. Alt that planeswalker, remove 10 counters from that one land to make 10 mana, do the whole thing. This is a really good engine. Now honestly, now Patrick, going back for in Spirit flagship vessel, since it has so many combos and has like weird value things, do we want to put it on B5? Probably not, but
dude, so I titled the thumbnail that way because I genuinely only thought that we would see one bracket 5 from this set, and it was, Sammy. We covered Sammy earlier. They're great. They're actually really good. But I'm not gonna lie, in Spirit flagship vessel, like,
it's got tech.
it's got cool shit, and it's in great colors for it too. Like, again, you're gonna splash in some red, but everything else is like legit. Other than like Will mentioned some extra combat stuff, I really do feel like proliferate's the way though. Also, isn't there another new easy to use proliferate that it's just like,
There's a lot. There's the white one whenever an opponent commits a crime, proliferate, but there's the colorless one whenever a non-token artifact enters your battlefield, proliferate.
isn't there one where you just like pay generic proliferate? I thought there was a new one.
There's a new one that's pay to tap it, remove X counters from a permanent you control, and then put that many +1/+1 counters or charge counters on artifact you control. That just does the thing with Magistrate Scepter.
So we've got a ton of ways to do it, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
Dude,
Honestly, the
yeah.
fact that this card is just like play Tinker, have one of like eight good cards that you want in the deck or more, win the game is really good. Because
yeah.
name any of the keys or any of the untap effects, even like the servant or whatever the heck it's called, the 2 mana
Generator
die.
servant. No, not
Yeah,
generator servant. Voltaic servant.
yeah, Voltaic Servant. So like Voltaic
Yeah.
Servant or the keys or anything is enough to just go infinite.
Is it at
And
the
even if
beginning of your end? Let me read.
beginning of combat.
Voltaic servant. I think it's
Oh,
upkeep.
Voltaic Servant's end step, but you don't care about that.
No.
Because you just yeah.
Let me look at Voltaic servant, see if that's a viable one. I'm sorry, we're really hung up here. We're like mid brew, but I honestly feel like this is bracket 5. I do feel like it's maybe like the lower end. I'm not going to say that, trip color commanders are easy to cast. At the beginning of your end step, yeah, that does it. That's fucking legit. And also, like, if it doesn't do it, it'll untap your manifold or like any other thing. Like it's also just the thing
your
that
mana vault or your newly resurrected mana crypt or your astral cornucopia or any of the things that you're putting all the charge counters on to win the game.
And it crews for 1. He's a little pilot, dude. Oh, I fucking love this. Also, you could just put counters on him. You can crew even harder. You're never gonna do that, but shit, if I had nothing else to do, I would put a +1/+1 counter on him just to get the ball rolling. Like, I had nothing else to do.
You're gonna go like, oh no, eventually you make him like a 3/5, and then you got your flagship to be 8, and then it's now a 5/5 flying thing that makes all of your things hexproof and indestructible. Oh no, you made it so no one can interact with you for the entire game.
Right. It's interesting too, because like you're so right about the other artifacts you control hexproof indestructible, because like at that point you're just using your interaction to protect the ship.
Yeah, and like if you get Lightning Greaves, boom, put them on the ship.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Eat it.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're like, yeah, hit my Greaves. Nah, that's shrouded. This is hexproof. That's also indestructible. Oh my god. All right. We should move on. But we didn't even raid Kilo. We're just like, it's a 99 card.
Because I'm like Kilo feels bracket 4 because you use all of the 1 man or all the untap for 1 mana effects to just make Kilo proliferate to high heck and then alt every planeswalker in the game. So I'm like, Kilo feels bracket 4. Then I'm like, putting In Spirit and Kilo on the same bracket felt just blasphemous. I had to go back and be like, do we want to put In Spirit?
Kilo by himself is B4 for you?
Yeah, because if you're playing a deck that cares about charge counters or anything, At worst, proliferate one every turn. At best, proliferate a whole lot in one turn. If you have any untap effect, Kilo will just go higher and higher and higher and
Okay,
get like
so you
5
could.
counters on everything per turn.
Is this like a pseudo Super Friends deck? Would you want to load it with like value walkers and stuff, or?
I mean, yeah, because you can ramp into the value walkers really easily with all the charge counter lands. Because with Kilo, it's just like if you have two of those lands into play, untap Kilo and tap Kilo 3 times, and then that's
Mm,
6 mana just off the bat to do whatever.
no, fuck that, dude. We're transporting the Magistrate Scepter on the In Spirit. Kilo, helm the ship. That's all you got to do, brother. You just
Yeah.
actually Voltaic Servant's taking the lead this time.
Yeah.
He's valued. He's valued here. Anyways, we should move on to the next spacecraft.
Yeah.
There's two more spacecraft. Isn't Lux Cannon a charge counter? Yeah, I think it
Yes.
is. Yeah. You could do that too. Infinite Guideline Station, our first Wooburg legendary here. Not that we always see them. 715 for a spacecraft. When Infinite Guideline Station enters, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control, minimally the Infinite Station here. And then when you station this at 12 plus, it becomes a flying 715. Whenever Infinite Station attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. Though that's not horrible, mind you. It will have been established on the battlefield, so if and when you crew this later on, it will be able to attack that same turn. So you will get the benefit of drawing a card, and it's irrelevant if other things are attacking at the same time. So crew this as much as you need. You have to do the stationing. I keep saying crew. You have to do the stationing at sorcery speed, so it's not like you can Phyrexian Dreadnought and do the thing. Am I crazy? It's Wooburg,
Yeah.
so it's good. It's minimally bracket 3 because it's Wooburg.
Yeah, I think it's probably bracket 3 only because this deck has just run all the Lotho and useful, just multicolor things that you'd want to run in a deck. And then you get a couple robots, you tap all your multicolored creatures to start the crewing process or starting the stationing process. And then on the next turn, when it could attack, fully station it, attack, draw like 4 or 5. I
Multicolored
will
though,
say,
that's so awkward that they have to be
I,
multi. Sorry.
if you have that one ley line that makes everything all colors,
Yeah.
all those robots are going to be card draw for you, so you can
Leyline of
just
the
go off.
Guild Pack?
Yeah, I think it's a guild pack.
Yeah.
And then if you flicker this ever, you just make more and more robots, which is more and more multicolor permanents, which is just funny. You can't really do that with anything else because I think Painter Servant is the only other reliable thing that makes everything all colors. But there's probably some niche things that say like all of your things are red in addition to their other types, and all your things are blue in addition to their other types. And if you get both of them into play, everything's multicolor. It's bracket 3 only because you can draw a lot of cards with this commander if you get the engine going, but it's very bottlenecked in how it gets that set up.
Yeah, I do think it's probably easier to just Timna, but when you're just comparing apples and oranges,
Yeah.
two things that want to attack to draw cards, you're gonna probably see more early on with Timna, at which point the game might have concluded. But if the game is prolonged, you may or may not draw more with Infinite Guideline Station, pending any sort of board wipes, things of that nature. I think having the advantage earlier on is just better. So even if you're only going 4 colors, like a Timna pairing is better. But proliferating the station counters really helps with the new planets.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Another reason why Kilo is nice.
Yeah, but that ship is sick. All right. Speaking of spacecraft,
Dawnsire. The one colorless spacecraft that you can run as your commander.
let's go.
5 mana for a legendary artifact spacecraft with station 10. Whenever you attack, this deals 100 damage to target creature or planeswalker.
Stuffy
Station
doll?
20. It is a 2020 flyer. This is a very funny Voltron commander. One, Stuffy doll.
Yeah.
You just nuke somebody from orbit and they're dead.
You just radio in the Stuffy doll like, hey, you ready for this shit? Are you ready? Are you ready for is my lightning rod ready? That's so funny, dude.
And the best part is, Stuffy Doll attacks somebody, then you nuke the Stuffy Doll and kill them. So it's just like Stuffy Doll, give him a hug.
Yeah. Right over
Lightning
there.
rod. Boom.
You're fine. And then you just see this beam of light from the heavens just like eviscerate you. That's hilarious, dude. It's one at a time, but you got stacks.
Stuffy Doll just wants to give you a good night hug. When did it be a good night hug? When did it become daytime?
Yeah. It's bedtime. Okay. The flying 2020 aspect is maybe a little less relevant. Getting this crude is
Well,
pretty
I will
crazy.
say, putting a +1/+1 counter on this and it one tapping somebody is pretty relevant.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I mean, none of this feels easy to do, but colorless. It's like we love building colorless here. It's hard to make effective. I like working within limitations, and even I, as an artifact man, do consider it difficult to like do these sort of strategies.
Yeah, actually, we totally missed that meme. I'm a fire in the laser. Good old classic meme.
Yeah, I that's kind of what's happening here though.
Yeah.
What do you I mean, how do you even get to the stuffy doll? I don't know, dude. This is like
I love it. I love it.
I think
so
I think
funny.
it's meme. I think this is meme tier. I think that you would do this because you want to like just blast people.
Let me see if there's like any colorless things that care about taking damage.
Oh, yeah, if there's more.
Yeah, like if there's something that's like make treasures equal to the damage this takes, it's like, yeah, I'll blast you and then make 100 treasures. That seems quite useful.
Yeah, I think that the Dawn Sire is only as good as like the tech surrounding it and the luck the player has in finding it, because you're not going to have much advantage, at least out of Dawn Sire. You're going to be relying on the 99 to get the ball rolling here. Artifact ramp is very easy to accumulate enough to dump this, and as you were saying, you could just have your colorless creatures crew this. Mystic
Yeah.
Sanctuary, I think it is in Cheerios until Stuffy Doll. Mystic Sanctuary is blue though, right? Blue land?
Uh,
Am I crazy?
I
What?
think it might be a mix of
I
something
might
else. I
be.
think
I might be
Mystic.
wrong. I'm thinking
No,
of
no.
something else.
Mystic Sanctuary is the land, but I think that they may be mixing it up.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
checking it right now, though. I'm checking Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, Mystic Sanctuary is the island.
Yeah. There's Well, I mean, there's plenty of ways you can ramp into this. I guess it's not putting it down. It's not the difficult part. I feel like it's meme worthy. I'm not sure
Yeah,
you're not gonna
yeah.
do
I'd
anything
I'd
with it.
say B2 because it's colorless and doesn't do enough as a colorless commander.
Mystic Forge. Mystic Forge.
Yeah,
Try.
Mystic Forge.
Is that it?
That is it.
Wow. Well, guys, before we review this, do you have a link to the Spider-Man cards? As promised,
Oh,
we'll cover some
if
of the
if you go
Spider-Man.
to Skyfall, it's on the front page. It has the little tab
Oh, okay,
underneath
okay.
the search for all the Spider-Man stuff.
Well, so that's Edge of Eternities. Um, so far as the legends are concerned, in a nutshell, this has all the Spider-Man spoils.
So far, yeah.
Nice. Oh shit. Okay, so at the beginning of the stream, we said we wanted to talk about some of these cards. We can go over them together with you guys. This is a little bit bonus, but that's the tier list. I think that these are accurate. Um, Sammy and the Vessel are both really interesting potential bracket 5 commanders. I do think that Sammy just has a ton of ways to win, like just not on the spot, but like it only takes so many cards to get the ball rolling in that list. So there's a lot of value in Sammy. Vessel is just crazy cool for the combos, especially because they're it's sort of like when we built Ishtola for Final Fantasy. It's just nice seeing something that can be competitive and does something different. And it just lets you play with cards that you won't often get to see. So I enjoy that. And I think the potential is so high that we placed it in 5, but obviously even when we goldfish it, it's going to be hard to tell in a vacuum. But you're in blue, like you've got all the level of control as any other blue deck, and I feel confident that we can put this thing down, get some of those free spells off, and keep it going. All the bracket fours are accurate too. Like I really like what you know what for such a low density of legendaries. I'll say that we have a really high density of 5 and 4, right? 2,
Yeah,
4,
it is a
6.
very even spread.
Seven bracket 5 and 4 legendaries between 22 total options of creatures and spacecraft. That's really high. Like, good on you, set. There's some shit that wound up down there that's just not good, but the stuff that's playable is actually really cool. Like, I like the Menomina, is it? And I like the Vessel quite a lot. And I actually like the Reanimate Mono Black Dude. Like, that, those three seem the coolest to me to want to try.
There's so many cool things from this set. I also do like the white space station just as a generally good white commander, because it's a surprise on what your commander actually is. No one can really play around it that easily.
Which one do you like? You said?
Bracket 3, the white space station.
Oh, yeah. That's
Just
a pretty
hidden
dumb one,
commander is utility. It's the search of legendary. Hidden commander is good utility.
Would you rather Sisay? Does Sisay run this?
Sisay probably. Yeah, because Sisay can set up the engine with this to tutor 2 things a turn.
Yeah, it's kind of dope, actually. That seems like really cool tech. I haven't played Wooburg's Sisay.
It's the fact that this can be flickered and utilized in other ways is the only reason why I like it more than Sisay, because you just immediately play it, get the other thing, immediately play the other thing.
Yeah, dude, good set. But speaking of
good sets,
edging, good sets. We'll take a gander at Spider-Man. I really just want to look at the legendaries. This is too much Spider-Man. This is too much Spider-Man for me right now.
We could talk about the origin of Spider-Man and how it makes it so he doesn't do whatever Spider can.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
it has been my favorite joke from this set. For those who don't know, the origin of Spider-Man, which is on the top row, like one of the first cards when you look at the thing, it's a saga, and it makes a spider token.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and it becomes a legendary spider hero in addition to its other types. And then you give target creature you control double strike until the end of the turn. The funny thing is, you're making Spider-Man. So there's a spider. It bit Spider-Man and makes him Spider-Man, but it doesn't give him reach, so he can't do whatever a spider can.
But the spider itself?
The spider itself has reach.
Yeah.
And I know people have said, well, you could just make the spider have reach. And it's like, yeah, but a spider didn't get bitten by a radioactive human to become Spider-Man.
I also like how it's like the world's smallest spider has reach, but like the dude who's web slinging, not him. He can't reach that high. So why don't we?
That is not a freaking small spider. Like in the art, it's like that big. Like that's a pretty massive spider.
True. Well, they needed to enlarge it so you can see it, I guess. Why don't we just highlight some of the legends from this set that we think are potentially viable, and then just cover those, because there is a lot of stuff, and we'll save it for when we actually get to the set.
To start off, one of the first ones, Symbiote Spider-Man. It's kind of like a weird Curie, and I very much like it. Whenever this deals combat damage, look at that many cards from the top of your library, put one to hand and the rest into grave, and find a new host. You can exile this from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, and give it this ability, or this card's other abilities. So it's basically just a Curie, and it's really good at just finding an extra turn spell or setting up your graveyard for you. So theoretically, you could hit super hard, find a reanimate, put a big thing into the graveyard and reanimate the big thing. Cool commander.
Yeah, just good value, low cost, 2/4 body, easy to do. Yeah.
Next one, and this is a 99 card more than a legendary, but it's really good and really notable. Spider-Punk. 1 red for a 2/1 that is a legendary creature spider human hero with Riot. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities cannot be countered, and damage cannot be prevented.
Refresh my
I think
memory
this
on Riot. It's the haste or counters.
+1/+1 counter or haste.
Yeah.
I will say the main thing for this is spells and abilities can't be countered. I think this is the first time we've had a red card that just says no interacting. Game's
At
ending now.
2, yeah, like I feel like damage can't be prevented, spells and abilities can't be countered. Those are maybe the more relevant, just baseline text here. Um, and obviously, if you've got some shenanigan with like riot and counters or something, maybe you could do that. I don't think there's like a you
It's
can't.
it's either 3/2 or a 2/1 with haste.
Yeah, him
That could be
himself.
good.
I'll probably just make him a 3-2, honestly, to save him from getting pinged by Orcish Bowmaster or something. But
Yeah.
spells and abilities can't be countered. That is kind of legit. Like if you want to, God, that's so chaotic. It's so good.
The only risky thing is it is spells and abilities, not your spells and abilities. So other people's stuff is also just completely let loose. So you should be winning that turn or else. That is the only reason why I think you may give this haste over giving it a counter. Because if you brick and you can't win your combo, you swing with him into somebody and then let them kill it so that you disable it.
True. Doesn't he get through the one ring?
Yes. Damage cannot be prevented through protection. He gets through the one ring.
It's gnarly as fuck. So Spider Punk. What a good card. What a good card it too. It's so chaotic. Like I really love this for red too. Because it's like, I don't have counter spells. Fuck it. I'm like, no, none of you get counter spells. Eat the lightning bolt.
You
Eat
know
the
what I
lightning
also
bolt.
you know what I realized? It's a human for Winota.
Yeah, there's that too, I guess. Ugh, God, that's rough. That's really rough. Winota's gonna like that. Shit,
Yeah.
that's really good. All right. Next, so your opponents can throw removal. Your opponents can throw out removal against you that can't be countered, but you're in red, which has a bunch of redirects. I was gonna say, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it was because red is really just known for its like deflecting swat, obviously, bolt bend, any of the there's more that are viable, but any of those redirect effects are going to be great here. Yeah, you just can't use Tivolt's trickery. There's like one piece of tech that red likes. That's
Yeah.
counter
And
specifically.
a Pyro and Red Elemental.
Yeah, you can use those. Keep them in the deck, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah, love it. We're also Will specifically said 99 card, so I agree
Yeah.
with him. I don't know you want this at the helm. Anything else notable for you, sir?
Gwen Stacy, the transform one, is actually pretty decent. ETB Impulse Draw, and you can pay mana to transform, or just play it for the backside. And the backside's 5 mana, a lot of keywords, and you can remove 2 when you play something from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Ghost Spider, backside of Gwen Stacy. Remove 2 counters from this, and then Impulse Draw. If you have a way to double the counters, or if you have a way to put counters on her in some other way, shape, or form, you can draw a lot of cards very quickly. So I like it.
I know a spaceship that puts counters on things. I don't know that you're running Vessel Ghost Spider combo. Those are the colors though, so
Yes.
you could, but yeah, they're probably not going to do that. No, I kind of dig that. You can still use Pyro and Red Elemental Blast to blow up Ristic Study.
True.
Yeah, actually, don't forget the other mode. Screw that. No, you know what? Yeah, you cast it. I'll let you draw a card, but I'm gonna blast it or Pyro it. One or the other. Uh,
I I will say we have my new favorite stacks commander because it's a completely different way to build stacks, and it's Peter Parker.
yeah.
So this is Bant, and he says on the front side, you make a spider token with him, and then the back side
Of course.
says that each legendary creature spell you cast with one or more colors has web slinging. Reason why that's really good, you can just play these really big, massive, annoying stacks creatures
Jin
by
Gitaxias.
just Because for those who don't know web slinging, new mechanic, new keyword,
Yeah.
you may cast the spell for its web slinging cost if you also return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. So not only does Peter Parker allow you to turn off your stacks pieces by bouncing them, but he also lets you just play Jin Gitaxis for 3 mana or play Elishnor for
Yeah.
3 mana.
And to be honest, like you're in ban, like use the tap the
Dork. Tap your
tap
dork to
exactly
pay for the 3 and then bounce
right.
the dork to play the big thing.
I would say like delighted halfling, right? Does delighted halfling's mana? Wait,
It works.
right. Because web slinging is just alternative casting cost, so you could give it protection while bouncing it, and then you probably just recast the halfling because you only spend 3 to do the thing. It's like it's really nasty, dude. Oh, this is so fucking cool. I really like this Spider-Man. I'm glad they've done a really good job recently with sets of just making the cards viable without. I wouldn't say this is overpowered. You know what I mean? Like Noctis is like really good and viable, but not overpowered. This is really good color range, and a really cool effect. Mind you, the activation cost to turn PD over is 4, so it's not like it's not difficult, but it's not quite easy. So you're definitely going to go, like Will was saying, like a stacks or mid-range slower route. But once you get there, my God, you just dominate. And it's not limited to once per turn. Like if you have the potential to do this web sling more, provided you have other tapped creatures to bounce. Like you could do a lot. Like you could have your Jin-Gitaxis with your Hellish Norn on the same turn if you're that guy. I loaded up with dorks, dude. Loaded up with dorks and fucking go. Which hierarch is here? Noble hierarch,
Uh, yes. Yeah, Noble Hierarch.
right? Yeah, you've got access to so many good dorks for this. Avacyn's Pilgrim's in there, dude. Yeah, this Spider-Man gets me really hyped. We should. It's I don't know how you guys feel, but we've just gotten like an overload of cards that my mind's not even like I'm not even I'm still wanting to build Final Fantasy cards. For commanders, we just got Sonic, which everyone kind of jumped on as well. He has his own fan base. We finished Edge of Eternities. We're seeing all this shit from Spider-Man, and now it's like I don't even feel like I'm ready to move on. But I'm 100% with you. This seems like such a cool stacks commander. Overloaded.
Yeah,
Like
a whole bunch
commanders.
of stuff.
Yeah, I like commanders that have something good enough to be playable, but don't crack casual or just formats in general wide open. Yeah, but even like at a casual setting, I'm not sure you're going to be going fast enough to make this Spider-Man super broken. But when he starts dropping, like, he'll probably drop like a Con Sphinx. You probably run Con Sphinx here.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry, not legendary, not legendary.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's a limit, but he's still really good.
Yeah, he's bringing out his friends.
You pay that one less for Linvala, Keeper of Silence, the stacks piece everybody forgets exists, but then hates seeing it in play.
Dude. Last one we should talk about definitely is I didn't see this old art for Ghost Spider. This is sick as fuck, dude. Some of this art is so good. We definitely want to talk about Iron Spider though, right?
Yeah. And a Green Goblin Revenant, I think, is the last one after that.
Oh,
so
for
we
sure.
can hop over the two.
Yeah. I've got Iron Spider up here. I can give us the breakdown really quick. So Stark upgrade costs 3, 2/3 body. Kind of wish it was like an equipment that did stuff instead, but that's okay. Spider Hero Vigilance. Tap, put a 1/1 counter on each artifact, creature, and or vehicle you control. You can pay 2 to remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among artifacts you control. Guess what? Draw a card. None of these are limited.
Yeah, this is a very, very dumb commander because you theoretically could just throw all of the 0 and 1 cost artifact creatures into a deck with Iron Spider and then throw in some untap effects, and bada bing, bada boom, you're drawing a whole bunch of cards while making your board freaking massive. You theoretically could be like killing somebody on like turn 3 with this commander if you get like a fast enough hand, because that Ornithopter is going to be getting a lot of counters.
Yeah, and it's each artifact. So what are the main lines of play? What are the cards you want to see in your opening hand to like get the ball rolling? I guess
Just rampant artifact creatures. Being completely honest, because you don't need much else with this commander. Because if you hit too much ramp, oh no, you pay mana, draw cards, and then you're fine. If you hit too many creatures, oh no, you have a massive board and you just kill everybody in one massive swing.
Yeah, it's important to note he's not saying each other. He is hitting himself too. So like you'll always have something to remove counters from once you get the ball rolling. I don't think you need proliferate or doubling in this. Not that you have access to much, but I guess you could. And also, very importantly, Iron Spider is the main card I'm excited for. The main combo is going to be Voltaic Construct, which we covered earlier, and Metal Worker, or a Monolith, or a Volt, or a Thran Dynamo turned into a creature, right? So you'd have what turns them into creatures? Infinite mana and infinite untap, though. The Voltaic Construct, yeah, we did not talk about that one. We talked about the Voltaic Servant. I'm sorry, but Construct would do it.
Yeah, Voltaic constructs just pay mana to
Three
untap
or
an artifact creature.
four? 3 or 4? I'm sorry.
It's two, I think. You pay 2 to untap an artifact creature.
Bullshit. He's 4 then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there was a high cost associated with it, but again, if you literally just want ramp and then a handful of utilities, you're good.
I also want to point out you can just play Clock of Omen and do Clock of Omen things, because if you're putting a massive amount of counters on things, or you're tapping a whole bunch of things to untap mana sources to remove counters and draw cards. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do with Iron Spider that Iron Spider is just the best generic artifact commander that we've had printed ever.
Yeah, I would agree.
In colorless.
I would agree.
There's probably better. Like Urza's probably better, but like as a general commander that just says I want to do artifact things, probably the best one we've had.
Sorry, I'm reading the flavor text. This is so cool. Oh, it's so cool.
Can I point out Spider Hero, not Spider Human Hero, just Spider Hero?
Yeah. Did he lose his humanity?
Anyone can wear the suit. Maybe it's just a robot inside the suit. To be fair, the suit can be autopiloted.
That's true. So. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they're kind of excusing it as colorless. Like, is this a moment where it's being self-piloted? Maybe that's what's up. It's interesting that the AI is still a hero. The AI is a spider. None of this makes sense. Could they just not fit? They couldn't do legendary artifact creature spider human hero without shrinking the text. So they're like, drop human, I guess.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Like, they would have had to abbreviate one of those things, which they've never done.
Well, the longest text that I think we've had is like legendary creature enchantment demigod. I think is the longest string we've ever had.
They fit it though, right?
Yeah.
Unwinding clock of omens. Yeah. All the good stuff. Spider-Man Noir is kind of sick too. Actually, I guess we could bring him up. Yeah. He's a little expensive though.
When you tackle him, you put a counter on a thing, and then you surveil X, where X that thing's power, or X the number of counters on that thing. Fantastic, except for the fact that he's 5 mana.
Yeah, this was suggested as a potential Squall card from Final Fantasy. I don't disagree. Squall didn't need help. It was just as good. I love it when we review a card. We do the tier list with you guys. We get to finally brewing it, and it's exactly as good as we thought. Because Squall was like, this reads really good. Is this really the best ramp in Orzhov? Beating green? And it's like, yeah, it's kind of freaking good. He worked really well. Again, in a vacuum, he needs to connect, but Spider-Man Noir could technically be tech for that deck for sure. You said you wanted to go over Goblin.
Green Goblin Revenant.
Yeah, he's down. He's down here somewhere. There he is.
Right next to the Iron Spider. The regular art of Iron Spider.
Oh, I have. Huh. No, okay.
No, not the full art, like the standard art.
I found him, but I'm curious. Is there an alt art that we missed? No. Okay.
No, we're probably getting that later.
Sure. I got him though. Oh, there is a card Thwip.
Oh, we do have Thwip as a card.
Will, wait, do you want to take a guess what it does?
Taps a thing, puts a stun counter on it.
Thwip is target creature gets +2/+2, which is what I said. I didn't say flying though.
You said -2/-2, didn't you? Or
oh fuck, you're right. I did a combat trick the opposite way. -2/-2. If it's a spider, it gains 2 life. You gain 2 life.
That's funny.
There's also whoosh. Sorry, we were literally talking about how we want the sound, the sound effects to be in the game. Anyways, they're in the game.
Nice.
Green Goblin.
Yeah, Green Goblin Revenant. 3, a black, and a red for a 3/3 flying death touch. When this attacks, discard a card. Then draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. Really
Hmm.
freaking good. If you're doing Wheel of Fortune effects, if you're doing any kind of discard effect, refill your hand consistently. Really nice.
Yeah. Avenge me! He will be avenged, dude. Anytime. Yeah, this is really good. Like Will was saying, like any of your discard effects are going to get the ball rolling on this. He just needs to attack. So you get one shot of pure adrenaline. Outside of that, it's a 3/3 flying death touch for 5. So baseline, I'm not like over the moon about it, but you're there for the draw. And I guess it fuels really good underworld breach lines of play, and you're in Rakdos, so you'll find the components to do the thing. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Simple as
Like a
that.
little. I wish he was one less, maybe two less, but like I'm not going to complain about that. He'd probably be broken as a 3-mana 3/3 that draws you a ton of cards.
Dude, we need alt art versions that are related to the movie, because I need to see the Spider Punk with the afro from the movie, dude.
Yeah.
So good with his art style specifically. They're kind of emulating it here, but it's not quite the same. It's a better version of Is It Grandma? Yeah, for the Green Goblin. Yeah, dude. Oh, there's so much cool shit from this set, though. I am very excited to talk about this with you guys. We'll see more in the weeks to come, I'm sure. Is this the next mainline set?
I believe so, yeah.
Dude, look at us. Eating good. Taxi
Yeah.
driver? You see
I'm
this?
I think I did.
Dude, that's hilarious. This is the best art from the set so far. This is the best art from
Oh
the
yeah,
set.
I see it like Spider-Man jumping on top of the car.
Dude,
That's that is good.
I don't feel like he would be yelling this to Spider-Man, but I do like the flavor text here. I got 2 speeds, buddy. Fast and off duty. He's a 3/1. And he's a
Man,
cute. He's a pilot.
New Yorkers are built fucking different.
Yeah.
Like average, like well-trained knights are 1/1s. Like knights and
Yeah.
soldiers are 1/1s. This guy's a 3. Well, I guess if he hits you with his car, yeah, it's gonna
Oh,
hurt. Never mind.
yeah, yeah. Specifically when he's in Taxi. Tell me Taxi's a vehicle. Oh, shit. We've got a. Oh, never mind. I thought this was the alleyway scene. Romantic rendezvous. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. Face a
Yeah.
tiger. You just hit the jackpot. All right, MJ, don't get full of yourself. Fuck, I didn't see this art for Eddie Brock. Damn it, there's too much cool shit. At any rate, guys, like we said, we'd cover some of the Spider-Man cards. There's a lot of cool stuff to come. We'll get to it
Can
when
I
we get
also
to it.
just say, MJ from the Spider-Man trilogies is horrible. She's a horrible person.
Is she really that? What do you mean?
So like the Spider-Man trilogy, what's his name? Tobey Maguire. The Tobey Maguire MJ.
Oh,
She's like a gaslighting, manipulative cheater. Like it's like they just kind of glide over that. Where she's dating Harry Osborn, but she's
yeah.
making out with Spider-Man, and then she's also like dragging Pete along by being like, haha, a little bit flirty, but also dating Harry Osborn. Like, holy crap,
Yes.
she is a horrible person.
Well, it's palatable when she leaves PD for the astronaut. What is that? The second one? No, that was the first one. Shit. The first 2 Sam Raimi Spider-Man films are definitely the best Spider-Man films. Let's not kid ourselves. Of the live action, because the animated ones are definitely the best. They're fucking great. Great Miles Morales. But yeah, those first 2 are amazing. I actually have a group that wanted to rewatch the Pirates movies. Maybe I'll suggest the Spider-Man movies instead.
Yeah, Mary Jane from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies she's just a horrible person.
Kirsten does a great job making it believable, at least. I'll say that. And oh man, Toby's so good in the role, dude. And I gotta say, that's easily my favorite Spider-Man costume. When I think of Spider-Man, I do think of the Sam Raimi outfit. It's so sick. We were walking just to work out the other morning, me and Allie, and someone had an original movie poster towel of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man just hanging on their stoop. We both caught wind of it. We're like, is that a very antique Spider-Man towel? I guess you could call it antique at this point. It'd be 20 plus old. How do you get? It doesn't matter. MJ left JJ's son at the altar.
Yeah,
Rough.
yeah, like she's just awful in those movies. Like she's a manipulative gaslighter that just uses people, throws them away like they don't mean crap. Like she's so awful. And obviously nothing against the actual actress who plays the role. It's
No,
just
no, no,
that
no. It's how
character
she's
is written
written.
as such a horrible person.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, also, new keyword effect from the Spider-Man set that we didn't go over for any of the notable cards, but it's Mayhem, which is it's madness, but you have to apply spell timings. But you don't have to play them immediately. You can just play them at any point during the turn.
Huh? Huh?
So like Electro's
I'm
Electro's
looking.
Bolt.
I'm looking at. Yeah. You may cast
So
this
it's
card from your graveyard for generic and red. If you discarded it this turn, timing rules apply. Okay, so it is sorcery.
yes. And
That's
funnily
so
enough, it
interesting.
also doesn't exile itself after the fact. So you theoretically could like do a whole setup where
Mm.
you keep bouncing and discarding them every turn to just keep mayheming over and over and over again. To be fair, I think you can do that with madness too. But yeah, it's a thing. It's interesting.
All right, people.
Actually, wait, really quick. Okay, no, because if you cast it, it goes on the stack, then it goes back to the graveyard, and it's considered a new instance of the card. I was gonna say, couldn't you just recast this infinitely over and over and over again? No, you can't.
I wish. Timing rules apply.
Indeed.
All right, everyone. Be safe out there in outer space. Enjoy Edge of Eternities while it lasts. Get all the singles you need. Get all the magistrate scepters. Build those vessels. And we'll build them with you. We should be brewing in the not too distant future. I will be out of country. Same continent though. We're going to Puerto Rico for a wedding. So
Nice.
yeah. I'm geographically challenged. Is that accurate? Either way, I'll be in Puerto Rico for a wedding. So I won't see you next week, I don't think, unless it's the weekend. Well, I'm going to be gone from like Wednesday to Tuesday, something like that, or Thursday
Right.
to Tuesday. Not long, but enough time for you to miss us. Sorry, guys. Maybe we'll do something early next week. We'll see. I feel like I'm going to be jammed with just like preparatory stuff. But I'm also going to a wedding tonight. So I need to,
Getting wedding packed.
dude, seriously. Later, Wolf. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. This was a quick tier list, but hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next one. We should be brewing. Do you want to brew Edge of Eternities? Like, should we just brew the vessel next?
Your call if you want to do Kane, because Kane has been kept on the back burner for Lord knows how long. We can brew
Yeah.
the vessel if you want to brew the vessel, because I know that he's very cool and fun. Or it's very cool and fun. It's a ship.
Ships are cool and fun. Ships are cool and fun. Maybe we'll do like a model building session while we brew the vessel. 2-in-1. Get some overhead cam footage. I don't have a spaceship I can build for you. See you, Grandpa. See you guys. Yeah, I mean, so much shit. There's so much shit I would want to brew.